Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to the PCSS Connection Podcast this week. You know, just before the Thanksgiving holiday, we announced our District Teachers of the Year. Derek Zachary from Northeast was named the Elementary Teacher of the Year. Savannah Bowman from Upperman Middle was named the Middle School Teacher of the Year. And Taylor Key of Upperman High School was named the High School Teacher of the Year. And joining us now is the High School Teacher of the Year for Putnam County, Taylor Key. Taylor, congratulations. So what were you thinking when the prize patrol come bursting in the middle of your class? We could just see the surprise on your face.
Yeah, I was super excited to be named Teacher of the Year for Putnam County Schools for the high school level. Super surprised. My students, they were just working so hard on their work. And when I rewatched the video back, I was like, guys, why weren't y'all like jumping up and down?
Oh, they were into their lesson.
They were really working hard.
Yes, they were.
So, but we had talk after that. So they were excited for me, but they were really trying to get their work done. But I thought that was funny when I rewatched it. But I was super, super excited and just really touched, honestly. I just started crying right there. Just super surreal, just a great experience. It's a great place to teach. I love being in this county, and I was just shocked.
Now, I don't know why you're so shocked. You have been the Putnam County Teacher of the Year before.
Yeah. I think that's why I was shocked.
Okay.
I didn't know I would be able to be eligible to get it twice. But that was a true blessing.
And to be recognized by your peers twice, I mean, even to be the Teacher of the Year at Upperman High School is an honor itself. And then to be chosen by the committee that interviewed all of the candidates, and now you go on to compete against other Teachers of the Year at the high school level in the district and region and statewide. What is it, do you think, that makes you a successful teacher?
I think really just the content that I teach. I get so many opportunities that not all teachers get to really pour into my students. I get to teach them for 3 years. I get to take them on all these amazing experiences to grow as people. And just, I love what I do. I love getting to have those students for 3 years because I teach a pathway for CTE. So I really get to build those relationships with those kids and hopefully make a difference in their lives.
Yeah. So have you always taught a pathway for CTE, or have you taught other subjects? Kind of, what has your education career looked like?
So I went to school at Tennessee Tech, and I graduated with a human ecology degree. Family consumer science education is what my background is. Back when I was going to school, we didn't have pathways, so we had to really learn all of the different aspects of family consumer science. So cooking, sewing, relationships, child development.
So back when I was going, it was like home ec.
Yes.
Yeah.
And interior design. I learned some fashion design. Not very good at that. I had to sew, really struggled with that too. I had some amazing people that helped me when I was at Tech with the sewing, but I had to take all those different classes because before they switched to pathways, I was able to teach, interior design or child development, lifespan development. But where they've kind of switched to pathways, I get to teach my students 3 consecutive years, and we have the nutrition pathway at Upperman, and that's what my real passion is. I love cooking, I love nutrition, so that's how I get to teach them for the 3 years because they have to complete those 3 classes consecutively, and I do love that. I've always taught family consumer science. When I first started teaching, that's when they really switched to that pathway system, so I've been teaching the nutrition pathway since then.
Now, how many students do you have in your classes?
I have about 125 students.
Oh, wow.
I teach 6 classes, and I teach an intro to human studies class, which is a class that needs to be mandated. It's a very important class for all students. We start off learning about communication, we learn about careers, we learn all about relationships. It's such a great class. We learn about self-esteem, and really here recently we've started learning about soft skills for careers in that careers unit, and that is so important for students to learn. I love teaching that, and it was funny whenever I came up with a lesson the other day where they had to pick a soft skill and they had to make a little poster about it. And I thought it was funny that all of the soft skills that were on the list were things that we had already covered in that class
Right.
as topics, which I never really realized that before. So that was a great light bulb moment for me, and the students were amazing. Talking about those skills and getting to practice them every day in my class is something that's super important.
Yeah. So you get them as their sophomores, freshmen, sophomores, and then you have them all the way through their senior year.
Yeah, typically they take my class freshman, sophomore, and junior year.
Okay.
Every now and then I'll have a practicum class where kids can take me also their senior year, which I love that too. I really miss them when they're seniors, you know.
Yeah.
They don't forget about me though. They come and see me a little bit, but I do enjoy getting to have them for 3 years. That's awesome.
Now, how many years have you been teaching in the Putnam County school system?
So I have been with Putnam County since 2018. I graduated college in 2014 and I taught at Smith County High School, and then got the opportunity to teach in the community that I live in, which is so amazing, and Putnam County's been such a blessing to me. So I've been teaching for 11 years. This is my 12th year total, but I've been here since 2018.
So 12 years into your teaching career, are you where you thought you'd be?
I think so. I really love the classroom. I love getting to see the students every day, and just to see my growth from when I graduated college to now is incredible. Getting to see the difference that I've made. A lot of my students now are teachers, which is amazing.
That's great.
I love seeing that. They teach, you know, in our school system, a lot of them do, and they did a training. We used to do some personalized learning trainings, and I would take videos of my classes doing personalized learning aspects, and it was so funny. They were showing a video at one of the trainings, and like half of the people in the video were in the training as teachers. So I thought that was a great full circle moment for those kids.
Yeah.
And they were so embarrassed, but I thought it was awesome.
Now, have the students changed much in the 11 years that you've been teaching?
No, I don't think so. I still love them. I still have to, you know, sometimes get on to them and get them to do their work. They haven't changed much in that aspect, but I love the students, and I love getting to see them every day and getting to hopefully teach them things that they're going to benefit from one day eventually.
Was it always your goal to be a teacher?
So when I started at Tech, I was going to school to be a dietitian.
Okay.
But my grandma actually did nutrition education through University of Tennessee Extension, and just going to those classes with her and seeing her do that, another light bulb kind of went off. Oh, I could do that, and that would be really cool. I would really enjoy that. And they always said that I was born to be a teacher. I would, you know, line my dolls up, line all my cousins up, and give them a good lesson on something, you know. But I didn't really realize that until I was in college. But I'm so grateful for Tennessee Tech and for the opportunity to be a family consumer science teacher. It's been awesome, an amazing journey.
Awesome. Well, tell us a little bit about your family.
So my husband is Jacob. We have been married for 10 years. We have a little girl named Brady. She is 7, going on 17.
Where does she go to school?
She goes to Cornerstone Elementary.
Okay.
She is an amazing kid. She is a competitive gymnast, so she loves that. I love being a teacher and being able to, after school, go to her practices and watch her. That's a big part of me. I'm big about my family. I love spending time with my family, and love the opportunity that teaching gives me for that. My little boy is Jackson. He'll be 3 in February, and he's wild, but he is so sweet. So I have Brady, Jackson, and we live right between Cookville and Baxter. So I love being part of the community that I teach at.
Right.
I love that.
Now, if you look down the road a little bit, say 5 years down the road, where do you see yourself from a teaching perspective, from a life perspective? Anything you think is going to change, or the plans to stay, you know, kind of where you are?
You know, it's funny that you asked that, because I was thinking about that on my drive here. I have always wanted to be a teacher, but I've always wanted to help other teachers. But I feel like being in the classroom is my calling, so I could really see myself being a teacher for the rest of my life, as crazy as that sounds.
It's not crazy.
I love just the opportunities that I have as a teacher. Like I said, getting to spend time with my family. My kids are very young, so maybe one day I'll be able to help teachers in like a coaching aspect. That's
Okay.
kind of been my long-term goal.
Sure.
But I think definitely in 5 years, I'll still be a teacher because I want to be able to teach my children, or them be at the same school as me, be on the same schedule as them. That's very important to me too. And I love what I do. I love being a teacher and showing up to work and teaching kids every day. So for the next 5 years, definitely I'll still be in the classroom, hopefully.
Yeah. No surprise, Taylor Key, a teacher at Upperman High School, is the Putnam County Schools Teacher of the Year for the high school level. Congratulations again, and love seeing your enthusiasm and your love for what you do.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to represent Putnam County and go on to the region.
And joining us now is the Middle School Teacher of the Year, Savannah Bowman from Upperman Middle School. And Savannah, congratulations on your honor. And I love when the prize patrol shows up and we just come in unannounced, and the look, sometimes of fear, sometimes of gratitude, but sometimes it's usually surprise.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was kind of like whenever I heard my door open, I looked over and I saw just a massive amount of people.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, and the first person I saw was Corby King. And I was like, oh my gosh, what is happening? But it was a little nerve wracking at first. But then when I realized why everybody was there, I was really surprised.
Yeah.
So it was fun.
You were talking about how it was a great honor just to be named the Upperman Middle School Teacher of the Year by your peers, and then you came before the committee, went through the interviewing process, and then named the Middle School Teacher of the Year for Putnam County Schools. What does that mean?
It is, honestly, it's crazy to even think about, because obviously, whenever I went in for my interview, I didn't expect very much. I was surprised and honored enough just to be named Teacher of the Year at my school.
Sure.
So to be named the district, like Middle School Teacher of the Year, that was, I don't know, really surprising. It's an interesting feeling because I can't even explain it.
Yeah. And now you got all the stuff that you have to go through to go to the
Yeah.
district and state and all that. So that'll be great. It'll
Yeah,
be great.
I'm actually pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had a good Thanksgiving?
Yeah, it was really good. I enjoy, spending time with my family, getting to step away from the classroom a little bit, kind of decompress and relax. And then, of course, whenever we come back from Thanksgiving, kind of jump back into the curriculum and get prepared for all of this end of the 9 weeks assessments and things like that. So.
And you've got a few weeks here before Christmas. We're 3 weeks away from Christmas, by the way.
Crazy.
Yeah. And with the threat of snow, what's it like trying to keep the students focused?
That is becoming increasingly difficult. Even today, because, there was this talk of snow and everything. And so it is hard to keep their attention. But, just kind of have to have conversations with them. We have these things that we have to do, and they know the expectations that I have for them. I set those expectations at the beginning of the school year. So those expectations and having the kids having constant reminders of those expectations, that really helps.
Yeah. Now, what subjects and grades do you teach?
Just 6th grade science.
6th grade science. Yeah. And how do you like that?
I love it. Science is my favorite. Science was always my favorite, like growing up and stuff. Science and math were just my favorite subjects. A little bit more of the science part, but I really enjoy being a science teacher.
Yeah, and now you see these STEM opportunities for students. That has to mean a lot to you because, that science and math and all the things. Yeah.
That's really important, especially for females, because there's not a whole lot of females in STEM careers.
Right.
So if I can inspire little girls at school to want to pursue a STEM career, that's really important.
Now, how many students do you teach on the average?
On average, of course, it varies every year. Probably between, I would say, 130 to 140 kids a year.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow,
I have
that's great.
roughly about 75% of the 6th grade student body at UMS.
And when we talk about 6th grade science, kind of what are we talking about? What are some of the things that you're teaching in your class?
Right now we're teaching weather, which is
Very
actually,
appropriate.
it's really interesting. But we teach, at the beginning of the year, I teach energy and energy transfer, and that's kind of the foundation of what we talk about for the rest of the year. So we talk about how energy is transferred in our atmosphere and how that, leads to all of these different weather systems. And then we talk about how energy is transferred through living things. Like when we come back from Christmas, we'll get into organisms and how those organisms interact with their environment, things like that.
Yeah. You said that math and science was always kind of your favorite. So what is it about that you really like, and what do you like teaching the most?
I think for me, I really enjoy just like the critical thinking parts of those subjects. Especially like getting these kids to think critically is really, really hard to do.
Sure.
So whenever I am able to be successful at that and I see kind of like the light bulb moments that they have,
Right.
that motivates me to continue to want to have those kids have those moments. And obviously just try harder as a teacher for them to have those moments.
Awesome. Now, as the semester progresses, as the school year progresses, we're still almost halfway through. Is there anything that's coming up in the next couple of 9 weeks that you're really looking forward to teaching?
I really like the interactions with living things.
Okay.
That is because that is typically the easiest thing for these kids to learn.
Yeah.
We do the harder stuff towards the beginning of the school year, which is nice because we kind of can get that out of the way. But they tend to get really excited about talking about organisms and animals and how they interact with their environments. And so it's easy. It's an easy subject to motivate them.
Yeah. Well, tell us a little bit about your background. Where'd you go to school, that kind of thing?
So I graduated Tennessee Tech in 2015, I believe. It's been a while.
10 years.
So I graduated Tennessee Tech in 2015 so I have a bachelor's in health science biology from Tennessee Tech and then a master's in curriculum and instruction from Tennessee Tech. I started teaching, so I did the job embedded route. Fun fact, teaching really wasn't my first career choice. I wanted to go into health, like nursing, something along that route. But it's funny how things work out. Sometimes what you think is best for you is not what the Lord thinks is best for you.
Exactly.
And so I landed in education, and I think I was born to do this. I love teaching so much. But
So did you get, what was your first job?
my first job, in the classroom, I was, the little bit of taste that I got from like a classroom environment first, I was teaching chemistry and where I was job embedded, I didn't have, it was more of like an untraditional way of getting in the classroom. So I was at Smith County High School, chemistry, and we learned that whenever I was moved into that role that it's not like that. Chemistry is not a subject that can be taught with the endorsement that I was working on as a curriculum and instruction student at Tennessee Tech. And so I ended up moving from there to Stone Memorial High School, and I was teaching biology at Stone Memorial High School. So I taught biology, physical science, and anatomy and physiology at Stone Memorial.
Okay.
And then moved into the middle school setting, and that's where I've been this entire time.
Yeah.
It is.
So we stole you from Stone Memorial, is that what we're
Yeah,
saying?
you did.
Yes, absolutely. That's great. That's good. I like that.
But I really like going from, whenever I wanted to be a teacher or decided that teaching was my career for me, I originally thought that high school was going to be it because I like high school sports.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I'm going to be a high school teacher. It's going to be great.
Now, did you play sports?
I played a little bit of softball.
Okay.
But other than that, no.
Yeah.
I just really enjoy like being part of the community and watching the sporting events and stuff. And of course in Baxter, it's pretty competitive.
It's a big deal.
Sports are, yeah. So I thought I wanted to be a high school teacher. And then I landed in middle school, and I really think that it's the sweet spot for me. Like I just really enjoy being a middle school teacher. Middle school kids, to an extent, still think you're cool. So it makes the job a little easier.
Well, what do you think makes you the teacher of the year? Why do you think your peers saw something in you to say, look, she's doing a great job, and we think she's our Teacher of the Year?
Well, that's a good question. I would hope that when people see me in my element as a teacher, I would hope that they would see the relationships that I have with my kids.
Okay.
Because I value the relationships that I have with my students above anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, education is very, very important. That is why I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher to teach these kids.
Yeah.
But children, like, I've learned that they don't really learn from people that they don't particularly have a relationship with. And
Right.
so, I mean, I think that it's really important for me to have those relationships with my kids. And I would hope that if anybody is in my classroom, if anybody sees me out interacting with students on a day-to-day basis, that is something that they look at and they say, you know, these kids really respect her.
Yeah.
These kids love her. And so that's the biggest thing that I focus on year after year is developing those positive relationships with kids and, you know, listening to them whenever they have something that they need to say. And if they need to come to me for anything, then, you know, they have that option. But
Sure.
having that relationship and them, you know, just feeling comfortable
Yeah.
in my room and
Right.
around me as a teacher.
What do you think is one of the most challenging things that you and other teachers have to deal with on the regular?
I think competing with social media is really hard.
Yeah.
Technology's great, but as educators, you know, we are running into issues with children and their, like, the social and emotional health of these kids.
Yeah.
And it's because technology is so easy for them to have in their hands now.
Yeah.
Social media is really easy for them to be on. And it's hard to compete with that. It's hard to keep their attention.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to keep them entertained.
Yeah.
As a science teacher, I find that a little easier because of the content that I teach.
Right.
So it's a little easier for me to be able to motivate them and keep their attention, although I find myself struggling on some occasions. But yeah, I think that's the biggest challenge that we have as teachers is competing with technology and competing with social media.
So I'd say you're probably pretty glad then when the school board said no more cell phones in the classroom.
Yeah, that's been pretty great. Which before, I mean, kids knew that they weren't allowed, especially in a middle school setting.
Yeah, right.
It's not as big of an issue as it is in a high school setting.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I haven't personally seen any issues with kids, you know, not wanting to put their phone in their device or anything like that. Like it's been pretty easy,
Good.
pretty smooth.
Yeah. Awesome. So looking 5 years down the road, you're a 6th grade science teacher at Upperman Middle right now.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Still teaching 6th grade science at Upperman Middle School, I think. Yeah, I really enjoy being in the classroom. Yeah, I love it. I love the content that I teach. I love the grade level that I teach. I feel like I'm in my element now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever I was in the high school setting, not as much and whenever I started teaching at the high school level, I wasn't very much older than the kids that I was teaching, and that is hard. That's really, really hard. It's hard to gain respect from kids when you're almost their age and they look at you as like a friend versus their teacher. Mm-hmm. So being in 6th grade, I really like it.
Awesome.
Yeah. So hopefully still teaching 6th grade science at middle school.
Well, it's not hard to see why you were named the Middle School Teacher of the Year. Your passion, your enthusiasm, and your love for teaching and what you do really comes across. So again, congratulations.
Thank you.
On your honor.
Thank you.
Hopefully we'll see you continuing those steps toward being the State Teacher of the Year.
Oh, that would be insane, I think. Like, that would be crazy.
It can happen.
I'm hopeful.
All right.
I'm
Thanks for
hopeful.
being
But
with
I'm
us.
going to try really hard.
Yeah. Hey everybody, I am back with our student spotlight for the week, Ciara Oldham. Ciara was just recently awarded the national winner for extemporaneous speaking for FFA. And over this past summer, she was also awarded the national, is it national? Yeah. Okay. She was also awarded the National Impromptu Speaking for Speech and Debate. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what those are? Because I feel
Absolutely.
like we need a little layover of what that is.
Perfect. So over the summer in speech and debate, I won impromptu. And impromptu, basically, you draw out of 3 prompts, and then you pick the one you want to talk on. You get like 2-ish minutes to think about it, and that can be like a question, or it can be like a celebrity. So my finals round for impromptu was, is nepotism always bad? So I talked about that for about 5 minutes, and that's the speech and debate one.
Okay,
And
that's
then,
awesome.
thank you. And then FFA extemporaneous speaking, it's an agricultural issue topic or something pertaining to agriculture broadly.
Okay.
I get 30 minutes to prepare on a prompt that I draw, so I get the 3 choices again. And then after I prepare, I give an up to 6-minute speech on that topic.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. Yeah, I had no idea like what it was about. I had heard about your speech and debate stuff over the summer, and I knew that was awesome. I watched the video, and you did a really good job.
Thank you.
Is this something you're like looking to kind of go into as like a future, like speaking wise?
So I am intending to go to college on a political science undergraduate with like a pre-law concentration. Obviously, like college applications, I'm sure you know, coming up, you're not 100% sure exactly what's going to happen. But I would say whatever I do end up doing, what I've learned from speech and debate and also FFA will help me.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially with that speaking aspect.
Yeah.
If I do go on like a political science route, I think that agriculture and the agricultural education that I've received in participating in FFA events and also classes will definitely help me, because I feel like agriculture is such an important thing when it comes to policy making, and oftentimes it's underrepresented.
Yes, it definitely is. That's awesome. I mean, just seeing like what you've done is amazing. I couldn't imagine ever doing it, but I know the school's super proud of you. Everybody's super proud of you, so it's awesome. Do you have anything coming up as far as like speech and debate, maybe with like FFA, something along those lines?
So we're still in the competition season for speech and debate. I still do extemp with that. I still do impromptu. For FFA, when you compete in a national contest, that's kind of it.
Okay.
So no matter what happens at that national competition, if you lose, you get very last place. If you win, you're never going to do that contest again.
Oh my gosh.
So I can't do extemp for FFA anymore. It's not that bad because I'm a senior, so it would have been like I was going as a super senior.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But I can still do extemp in speech and debate. And then as far as FFA goes, there's other great opportunities.
Okay.
I think working towards contests for this upcoming year, I'm going to participate in the Agricultural Issues Forum event, which is a skit about an agricultural topic that we pick and we research on, and then we might get questions about it from our judges. And I'm also going to do prepared public speaking, which ironically, I don't really ever prepare a speech that I give.
I know, it's just like you just have to go.
I know. So you'd think it'd be easier, but I'm not sure.
I mean, I'm sure you'll do great. I'm sure it'll be so fun.
I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. Like, that's so much. I can't even comprehend it. But, so as far as, like, the speech and debate stuff, are you able to go back? Like, I know you said for FFA you can't really, like, go back and do the same thing. But for speech and debate, can you go back and compete again in what you did last year?
Yes. So this summer, there's also going to be a national speech and debate tournament. If I qualify, if I get the opportunity to go, I can compete in the same events.
Okay. What did you do to prepare for all of this? Like, over the summer and everything, what did you do?
So I get great help from my FFA advisors in those contests, Miss Wick and Miss Johnson down at Cookeville High School.
Yes.
And in speech and debate, my coach, Mr. Cunningham, is extremely helpful. It's kind of a hard thing preparing for the unprepared.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, what I try to do to think about it is I'll keep up with the news cycle, so I make sure I'm watching like morning news and nightly news, getting those topics. For agriculture specifically, you can like get Google alerts on your email. So every day at 4 p.m., since I started doing FFA extemp my sophomore year, I have gotten like the top headlines about agriculture. Miss Wick put me on that. So I just skim those, tap the ones that look interesting.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That sounds like, so much. So much. But yeah, that's so fun. I mean, I'm sure you have so much fun with it, and I'm sure everybody in the group is super fun. So, do you guys I guess, do you do any, like, group stuff at these competitions, or is it mainly just solo? But I don't know how that works.
So as far as FFA or speech and debate go, sometimes there's group contests that you'll compete in. At nationals this year, we didn't have anyone in a group for either activity, but like the school still has other people competing in different categories, and then your group will be all together. So after you give a speech, you'll get to hang out with your chapter in FFA, talk to them. We went golfing when we didn't have something to do, so that was pretty fun.
Oh, that's so fun. I love that. Oh, well, I don't know. Do you have anything else you want to go over as far as what you've accomplished? I know it's a big deal.
I'm not really sure.
No? I know. Well, I mean, you're making Cookeville High School history over here. So proud.
Thank you.
But I think that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for being here with me. I had a lot of fun.
Thank you so much for reminding me. It was so fun.
I know. I had so much fun. Well, that is it, guys.
Thanks, Madden and Ciara. Well, that's going to do it for the PCSS Connection Podcast for this week. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you have a great week. God bless everybody.